Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. Here we start on the daily time frame. It's been a quiet weekend so far. Bitcoin is pushing a little bit higher, but we are still in a price channel. In this price channel here, we're going to take a look at that in a minute. Quick reminder for those of you who've been following us for quite some time. It's important to understand that the rally, is getting close to an end here on the Bitcoin chart. Now, don't misunderstand this. I am not calling a top in place yet. And I just want to highlight that we're likely in the late stages of an impulse which started to develop in 2022 when the price started the bull market in November 2022. And the rally is seen as a 5-wave move. Absolutely. Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, Wave 4, Wave 5. That 5-wave move in the 5th wave can already be considered, you could say, complete. However, when we then zoom into the microstructures, one more high would still be ideal. And yes, there are other scenarios that we've discussed in our member live streams or even in videos on the MCO Global channel, like, for example, the yellow scenario in which we could get even further upside extensions after this next move up is done, because honestly, in this move up that started in August, this is a 5-wave move already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that actual fifth wave should ideally get one more high, okay, when we look into the microstructures. And this is going to be my preference as long as we are holding the $81,350 level, because below that level, the structure is likely starting to shift towards something more bearish. But for now, the overall focus remains on higher prices. Now, it is important to understand that the next rally can take us to 130K roughly, but it doesn't have to be the overall bull market top. I've marked it with a question mark, bull market top question mark. The wave count is already full. But if we zoom into the details, go to the nano level, then the wave count is not really full yet, because on the nano level, I can still make a case for maybe another high. And it's also important to recognize that the yellow scenario, as I said, is possible. What is that for? I mean, in the yellow count, we might see after that next high also a decent pullback, but it would likely be a correction in a 4th wave before we go higher in a 5th wave. So this is what we are tracking here in the yellow scenario. Higher prices, yes, but the wave 4 should then be also quite substantial, because it would be a large wave degree, like the wave 2 down here that bottomed in March 2023. But it will not be a full-scale bear market, at least not yet. So this would, however, only be an alternative scenario. This is not my preference, but there will be a support area along the way. I mean, okay, you say it's not my preference. I mean, what I'm saying, I wouldn't rely on it. Of course, I'd love it. Of course, I'd love Bitcoin to go higher before we put a more substantial top in place. But this is nothing new. We talked about it. Just wanted to spend the moment, because not really much happened on the Bitcoin chart. Just want to spend a moment to tell you a little bit more about the broader structure, bigger picture. Bitcoin remains in a resistance zone. You can see that here. The red arrows indicate that we have here strong resistance, and I've asked a few days ago on X, is another pullback incoming? And not much happened since then, but this is still something that we need to be mindful of. Just highlighting that we are approaching key resistance, right? So we are approaching the upper boundary line of a trend channel. We're approaching these previous swing highs in the area around 109K to 109.5K, for example. The pullback could be a B wave. Hold on. A, B, C. And then from there, we could go higher like that. Or the upcoming pullback could be a wave 2 in white, which would mean, hey, just a shallow pullback before we go higher and we get a direct breakout higher. In both cases, though, I prefer higher prices overall. But then again, we don't even have evidence that this pullback started. I made that clear yesterday. So let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Why do we not have preference that this pullback started? Because honestly, as long as we are holding here this upper support area between 103,850 and 106,107, there is not even any evidence that we have started either this wave 2 correction in white or the blue C wave. And therefore, I explained to you just in yesterday's update, we don't even need to ask a question at this point, is it the white count or the blue count? And by the way, they are both bullish. I think that should provide some clarity. Until we really get a little bit more downside momentum, because at the moment it might even be that we get one more upside extension, which appears likely right now, with the price pushing above these, against these previous swing highs, yeah. And so the next upside resistance is around 109K, the upper boundary line of the trend channel, and the previous swing high from the 16th of June. This might be tested, maybe we break above it briefly, but it could be the fifth wave to the upside already. So that's something to pay attention to today. Volume is quite low today, though. The entire weekend, like so far, the market has only been moving sideways, so we haven't really seen much action. But we now have a breakout above our upper boundary line of the price channel. That's not the price channel I just showed you on the daily chart. It is just on the micro level. And just highlighting it, right? Because a break above has now taken the price to the top of the rally, basically to the 26th of June high, which formed around 108,350. Well, we haven't reached it yet, but we're nearly there. So yeah, I think today the focus is on whether the bulls can also take the price above the Thursday high and take the price to the upper boundary line of the larger price channel. Any break above could just be a fake out, considering that it might just be a fifth wave, right? So we stay close to that. I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. I also invite you to join us on X for additional content. There is a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. There are a lot of additional updates that we don't, of coins and so on, that we don't cover on YouTube. So check it out. I've linked it in the description and the comment section. Thanks so much, and I wish you a great Sunday. Don't forget today, 5 p.m. UTC, our member live stream. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.